It was a late Friday night. We had just left the teen center. I don't know if you had teen centers when you were a kid, but where I come from, we had the teen center. And we had punk shows and we had so many awesome shows, man. It was great. Now, this particular night, we got a genius idea. Because when you're young and you got your parents' caravan, you can do some pretty dumb things in a caravan. I don't know if you knew that or not. A lot of you youngsters out here in the world of life don't know what a caravan is. Caravan is a old school van that is frumpy and lame. So there you go. Now you know what a caravan is. Well, we got the caravan. And the best thing about the caravan was you could actually open the door when you're going 60 miles an hour. You could slide open the door manually. See, now y'all got these safety locks and all this electronics in the door. Not in the caravan, man. You just slide that thing right open, slide it shut. And when you were an idiot, like I was as a kid, and with doing some stupid with steroids, after you realize when you're driving 60 miles an hour and you can slide the caravan door open, you can slide the caravan door shut, you know what you do? You say to yourself, you know what? Let's go to Wegmans. Now, the only purpose for going to Wegmans after midnight, if you're below 18, is to purchase eggs. I don't even know if they sell them past midnight these days. Haven't been there in a long time. But when I was a kid, we were going to buy eggs. Now, when we took 3 dozen eggs and we put them down at the same register, the lady looked up and she said, "This better not have anything to do with my car." And she said exactly the make and the model of her car. And we said, "Ma'am, we would never do anything like that. We would never egg your car." And we didn't. The other thing about a caravan that was really cool is you could remove seats in the caravan. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. And so what we did was we had one guy that was the door opener, and we had 2 or 3 people, I think it was 3, as the egg chuckers coming out the caravan. Because we are geniuses. We want to get in some trouble on a Friday night. Man, talk about stupid. And so one of the first cars we whacked was a Corvette or Lamborghini or something like that. And I was the door opener. So am I complicit? Absolutely. But if I were to get charged and drive by egging, I might get off a little bit easier, right? I'm just opening a door. Whatever happens after the door slid, hey, that ain't up to me. I just slide the door open and then stuff happens and I slide the door shut. Well, when you're traveling at 30, 40 miles an hour and you're right next to this car and you slide that door, you do the little slide that door wide open. What ends up happening as you watch these eggs whistle past your head and impact this beautiful car? I think it was some exotic car, as I think this back. It was like a Lambo Ferrari type of thing. Maybe it was, I don't know. I can't remember exactly what kind of car it was. But as those eggs impacted that car, and my brother was driving, okay? What we didn't think about was, okay, what's the escape plan? You see, when you throw 6, 7 eggs at a Corvette exotic type car, whatever that was, what ends up happening is they're faster than you. But it takes them 10, 12 seconds to realize what just happened to them. And so in this case, boom, my brother is hightailing it into a cul-de-sac, man. Cul-de-sacs were your best friends when you were egging cars because you could just hide. And so literally, we're moving. I hear this sound. Like this guy is laying on the freaking brakes and he's coming to kill us. I'm sliding the door shut, screaming, go, 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 go. And goodness gracious, let me tell you, my brother made that caravan move. And we wheeled our way back into this cul-de-sac, backed into somebody's driveway, turned the lights off, and just sat there. And he came for us. We're all laying down on top of each other, not making a sound. Because this guy is hunting. He's on the hunt now. He's on the hunt for us young rapscallions. And then he goes, and we wait solid 20, 30 minutes. Because let me tell you, that's the closest we had been to being caught yet. So we decided, you know what? It's better off if this whole thing continues by foot from now on. Which kind of makes sense. I mean, that makes sense. If you're going to egg somebody's car and be an idiot, you might as well be able to run away because cars can't drive where people can run. So we get that genius idea. Well, now we're waiting. We parked the car back at my friend's house, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. And finally, a car comes in the horizon. Now, we had egged 4 or 5 cars at this point like this. We were low on eggs. I think we had like 1 egg per man, okay? And this car is coming on down the line. And every single person dropped their egg and began moving very swiftly into the cul-de-sac, except for one man, my older brother. He decided to let that thing fly. And as that egg impacted on the back of that cop car, that's when the lights came on, and that's when the spotlight came out. You see, this guy must have heard about us. So we'd egged a few cars that night, and they were looking for us. You know, when you're in, a town where not much happens, that's what you do, hunt down idiots like us. Well, I'll tell you, that moment is I could still see it in my mind. I'm laying down behind a rock, and this light's just going over my head, over my head, over my head. I can still see that moment in my mind. And as I crawled into a culvert, I see that thing over my head, over my head. I keep crawling. And eventually, we all found our way back to where we were staying. And what's super wild, is not one person got busted. There's probably 7, 8, 9, 10 of us or something like that. Nobody got caught. We all got away. And what's really interesting is that these are the things I'm doing 16, 17 years old. But the reason I'm doing them is one night my dad was driving me over to a friend's house. And I don't know, 10, 11, 12, something like that. And he's driving us over there. And so I end up getting my friend's house. I hang out. Then my dad comes to pick me up on the way back. And he says, we got to go to the store real quick. And I'm like, well, I don't think we need anything at home. What do we got to go to the store for? We go to the store, and my dad pulls out those 18 pack of eggs. You know, the big dog, where you got 18 packs of eggs, and he's got 2 of them. And I'm just thinking we're getting scrambled eggs tomorrow for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because this is what's going to happen. Well, this was many years prior to my egging experience when I was a knucklehead. My dad was a grown man at this point with multiple children. And he took the cartons and didn't put them in the back seat. He literally took the cartons and he had them right there, right next to him. And I'm like, what is going on? Well, my dad, we pull up to this stoplight. And he said, watch this. Boom, the light turns green. He pulls up in front of this house and he starts unloading a carton of eggs faster than I've ever seen in my life. I mean, this guy is like, you ever see that movie Elf with that buddy guy? And he's like throwing the snowballs. I mean, that is it was like full on machine gun reality going on into this. He is just sending it into this window, this apartment. And after he finished the first 18, in a matter of seconds, the next 18 went and we took off. And so we're cooking it and booking it. Now, mind you, this is me and my dad were alone in the car. And he is sending it. I mean, in this little car without any horsepower, he is pedal to the metal, flying down the road. And you know what ends up happening? The exact same thing I did as an adult. He ends up pulling into a little trailer park, shutting the lights off, and watching these guys go flying by. And we sat there for 20, 30 minutes and then headed home. It's interesting how things that happen in the past repeat themselves in the future.